I never doubted you, my son.
Of the runs of Louis I, the Second, and the Fourth. The reason is, well, the whole quest is just one puzzle, and there is no branching apart from the very end.
Reassure me, we aren't going to have to force that one, are we?
I don't think we're even capable of doing it. You're going to have to find a way to open it.
Why, of course. And what's inside?
Something to vanquish them with?
Perfect. So, how does it open?
We'll need several keys. I found a note from the architect who conceived the mechanism in Mortimer's secret study. We have to first gather 5 objects before we try anything.
Are the 5 objects the keys?
Exactly. We have the Clement III cross, the nails, the Gutenberg Bible, the exegesis of Judas, an armillary sphere, and all we need to match up the dates between the different calendars.
Why a cross?
Well, I haven't the foggiest idea, but it just so happens that's what you are going to use to activate the mechanism. I found the one Mortimer kept. It belonged to Cardinal Guibert, better known by the name of Pope Clement III.
Perfect. Where is it?
Unfortunately, I've lost it. When I lost my hand, I went dashing out, and it must have fallen from my pocket.
Remember, Mother. I'm certain you can remember.
Let me think.
You were running.
I was bleeding to death.
You remember the pain.
I thought I was going to faint. Yes, I remember. I don't think it can be far, can it?
Would you have lost it outside?
No, I don't think so. It must be in the area. I don't remember going up with it.
Perfect. I'll search the crypt before leaving. Some nails?
Don't ask me. I'm not the one who made the mechanism, you know. When I arrived, there were already a few of them inserted, so I didn't have to worry about those. On the other hand, I remember seeing some in Mortimer's secret study, behind his nightmare.
And a golden cup? Yes. Yes, I saw them too.
Perfect. It will be easy for you to find them then. You need 3 of them.
Very well.
You remember what to do about the rollers. 1191 to enter, and 6466 to exit.
Of course. An exegesis. Anything else?
Did you manage to vanquish the Medusa?
To open the chimney? Yes, absolutely.
So you've already come across it. It's the Bible of Judas that is exposed in the secret room behind the chimney.
Why do they call it an exegesis?
Because that's what it is, and not an apocryphal Bible, strictly speaking. It's the study of a text with a summary, not an actual Bible. Anyway, well done for the Gorgon. You did well. You didn't get tricked by the light bouncing back.
Thanks. Do you think I can take it safely?
We haven't got a choice, Louis. Without it, we won't be able to work out this cursed mechanism.
This is the book in which you left your correspondence with Duchess Hillsborough, isn't it?
That's right.
You still believe it's in the tower room, don't you?
I don't know. There is only one way to find out, though.
Right. I shall go and see. There's one in the portrait gallery.
Yes, but it's enormous. If you don't want to have to go back and forth several times, then I suggest you get a smaller one.
What did you do then?
I didn't think I'd need one. I started without one, and I lost my hand before I did need one. And you can see the result.
What do you mean by the concordance of dates exactly?
Don't worry about that. We already have them. They are written on the back of the message I just gave you. One last thing before you go. Be very careful. If you come across anyone, they can all potentially be spies of Mortimer or Holm. Don't ever confide in anyone because a demon can slip inside them at any moment.
Wait, not all of them though. Take Washington.
Especially Washington. He's been conditioned by Mortimer for years. Look at them, for crying out loud. How do you explain their behavior otherwise? The most influential politicians in the Western world gather together without the least protection, without a single aid to assist them, to participate in a conference during which the guests start dropping like flies. Me, Adams, Peru, Hillsborough. Look at the number of calamities that have happened over the past few days. And not one of them has asked to leave the island? Do you find that normal? You'll see. Go up to the manor to look for the keys, and I wager not one of them will speak to you about my being in Emily's room.
Do you think so?
Go on, you'll see. And come back with all the objects in one go. Time is against us. And remember, the code to get out of the secret office is 6466.
So, that is the quest. Collect 5 items and use them to solve the puzzle.
What on earth is that? A disc with information engraved in the metal? An iris that should open, I imagine, and blood.
There are Roman numerals, Arab numbers, and town names.
Go on. I'm listening. What do you think?
On each engraved piece of information, there's a hole. Those are for the nails, right?
That's absolutely right.
Frankly, not much.
It's not going to be easy. So start by fetching all the keys then.
Mother, the dried blood, there.
Yes, it's mine. Sorry if I stained everything, but I must admit that at the time my thoughts were more on the pain than cleaning up after myself.
Did you succeed in opening this iris?
Yes, by putting the cross on the console and the 3 nails on the disc, the iris opens. It gives access to a hole where I put my hand, thinking I could fully open the iris. There's a handle at the bottom, and as you can see, it didn't turn out very well for me.
Unfortunately, I cannot brute force the mechanism.
Let's see if I can work it out myself. It looks like a kind of control panel.
There's a cross-shaped slot there. I'd say you've got to place a Cardinal the Third cross in it.
You ought to go, Louis. If someone finds us here, the situation might well become seriously complicated.
Okay, let's go.
Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better.
By the sound of it, the cross should be somewhere around here. You may have noticed that achievements no longer pop in the council.
An old sesterce from Roman Gaul.
That's because the game doesn't have any choice-based achievements past the first episode.
Famous cross of Cardinal III. Perfect. And 1 key found.
And it is the only key item that awards you with a perk for finding it. And now we're going to pop over to Louis IV for a briefing, because he has seen neither the tower room nor Mortimer's secret study.
Reassure me, we aren't going to have to force that one, are we?
I don't think we're even capable of doing it. You're going to have to find a way to open it.
Why, of course. And what's inside?
Something to vanquish them with?
Perfect. So, how does it open?
We'll need several keys. I found a note from the architect who conceived the mechanism in Mortimer's secret study. We have to first gather 5 objects before we try anything.
Are the 5 objects the keys?
Exactly. We have the Clement III cross, the nails, the Gutenberg Bible, the exegesis of Judas, an armillary sphere, and all we need to match up the dates between the different calendars. So you have the architect's note. Behind, you will find the correspondences for the dates. Look, these are the nails we'll be needing. As for the exegesis, that's behind the chimney in the portrait gallery. You'll find the Gutenberg Bible in the tower room. It's an unoccupied room on the guest floor.
As for the armillary sphere, there's one in the portrait gallery.
Have you seen the size of it? You'll have to find a smaller one that you can carry with you. Mr. von Vullner is there, I think, isn't he?
Indeed he is. Do you think he might have one?
Yes, it's highly possible. He is known to have a keen interest in the occult and astronomy. Go and see if he's got one in his baggage, you never know. One last thing before you go. Be very careful. If you come across anyone, they can all potentially be spies of Mortimer.
And back to Louis I, where I find that the body is gone, but the key is here. But yeah, Sarah gave the nails to that Louis right there in the crypt. There's a reason. Anyway, our next closest objective is in the portrait gallery in that secret display case room. But first, maybe I can pick this thing up.
Right. It's definitely an armillary sphere, but I have to find one that I can take with me. Otherwise, I risk drawing too much attention to my comings and goings. Now, where can I find a smaller one?
Oh, come on, with maxed out agility, Lou could stick it up his arse.
Right. Let's see if the statues are in place yet. Shield toward the sword. Well, that's good. The statue is already in the right place. The lantern is already in the right position. Turned toward the shield. The sword toward the Gorgon. That's good. It's in the right place.
Devil's Thorn. I'll keep it.
That statue is not positioned correctly.
I forgot what the solution was. Doesn't matter. What matters is that I can go back to that room and pick up the book I missed.
That statue is not positioned correctly.
Open sesame.
Haven't you already said that?
So that's Pandora's box? An urn? Mother seemed worried that I was able to open it. I wonder why.
Hey, Mortimer's the author of this work. It talks about his passion for art.
Caesar's laurel wreath. Now, given all the relics preserved here, it wouldn't surprise me if Mortimer claimed it was Excalibur.
Louis, you were here for the book.
So that's the exegesis of Judas. I hope Mortimer doesn't read it very often, otherwise he's going to notice that someone's stolen it. But that's just too bad. I need it.
And one more key item off the list. I don't need anything else on this floor.
Right. I've got what I need. Now let's not waste any more time.
Still, I decided to walk around and ran into this in a small salon. Napoleon warming his balls and casting a massive shadow. I don't think the shadow is realistic, but whatever.
Not too shocked
I beg your pardon?
about Peru this morning. I asked you if you weren't too shocked by it all.
Yes, of course. I still can't believe it.
And neither can I. How could he do that to us? There are increasingly fewer and fewer of us on Mortimer's side. I don't see at all how we are going to win the conference.
Tell me. I was wondering. You wouldn't know where to find an armillary sphere, would you?
Do you really think this is the right time? Oh, ask Volner. I am sure he will know. What with him being passionate about astronomy, you ought to get on fine together. Leave me now. I need to think of a solution.
I won't keep you any longer. See you later, monsieur.
And he teleports away, as he will be known to do on the battlefield in the years to come. Let's check up on the other Frenchman.
Sorry, sir, but Mr. Peru is not seeing visitors at the moment. He's resting, and is to see no one. Good luck.
So this is a repeat of the Elizabeth situation, where whether you save a character or not, they just disappear. They have no more lines, and the main story is not affected either. This is where the Bible is, I hope.
Ah, Louis. Glad you're here.
Blasted! He's gonna talk about my mother.
Come and see what I've found. There are pieces of paper in the ashes of the chimney. Someone's been burning something here.
Incredible. He doesn't seem to want to speak to me about what happened between my mother and the Hillsborough sisters.
Show me a little.
Look, it's possible to distinguish two different writing styles.
the rest of the correspondence between my mother and Emma.
Someone tried to burn an exchange of messages. I'm certain there must be more.
Shit. What on earth is he doing?
Ah, crap, the idiot's on the case. I'll try to send him the other way.
If you want my opinion, a servant must have burnt some old papers, that's all.
Why, of course. You very nearly made me think that you were trying to hide something, Louis. No, I'm sure there must be other hidden messages.
He won't let go. He's going to work his way back to the Bible if he continues.
I have absolutely no idea how he managed to read anything in a room this dark. He's almost endearing in his idiocy. And yet his sudden appearance throws Louis off there. Let's drink to it.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
For once, I actually have the keys for this stuff.
The Bible's still there.
Louis IV says the same, even though he's never seen it here before. And we've got the book, which is explicitly labeled as the book Sarah used for communication purposes. Still, I'm kind of curious what Washington is up to.
Hey, look, there.
No, I don't see anything.
Come, Louis, look. Someone's clearly drawn a 4 in the dust. I have a clue.
He's going to be disappointed when he sees the Bible's disappeared.
I have a clue! George Washington, 1793. Now let's see the same meeting, but in Louis II run.
Ah, Louis.
Blast.
Comments. There are.
Show me a little.
Look, there must.
Oh yeah, I found how to skip cutscenes, yeah, it's space. The game never tells you that. Anyway, we've got a new option because, well, in this timeline, Elizabeth is dead.
Ah, I see. I know what it's about.
Do you know who was doing their communicating in this room?
Yes, but of course we must keep it to ourselves because it is still a sensitive matter. Volner and Elizabeth had an affair. Volner hinted that he'd found a way to remain discreet about it. I admit it is ingenious.
Well, I would never have guessed.
Delighted to have helped, but I still have to find my mother.
Of course. We shall see each other later in that case.
I wasted enough time. The Bible.
And let's do this again.
I have a clue.
And now Louis IV. Louis IV does not meet Washington. He's not here at all. And now we're back to Louis I, and we're going beyond the nightmare again.
Right. This time, it'll be a lot quicker. If I remember rightly, the code was 1191.
It would have been much, much quicker if you hadn't added all those cutscenes of Louis staring at the mechanism in bewilderment. Actually, they could have made this whole thing a cutscene and spared me the trouble of hitting all the dials.
Of course.
Anyway, as I've been told, this skeleton here is the designer of that lock we're trying to open. Sadly, he's in no condition to answer the questions.
There. Those are the nails I was looking for.
Well, take them then. Does anyone else think Mortimer's nails is not the best way to word this? Anyway, that leaves only one key item, the sphere, which should be with von Wöllner, according to Sarah.
Alright, come on. Let's get out of here. 6466, if I remember correctly.
So they do know how to skip repeat puzzles with a cutscene. Now Louis II will tell us about the nails.
Those are the nails I was looking for. I noticed they were old and rusty, but I hadn't noticed these traces of... Could that be blood? Is it really the relic of the Holy Cross? I can hardly believe it.
Yeah, those nails are actually the second thing that helped the authorities to nail Jesus, after Judas. Louis, what the hell? And as for Louis IV, well, he can't use the pedals. He's never been to the secret room, that's why Sarah gave him the nails. Anyway, Louis I, Wöllner Sphere.
An armillary sphere. Perfect. That will save me some time. I only hope that he isn't going to realize it right away.
Yeah, nobody's going to notice me carrying that around in my back pocket. Collectathon is complete, so we can go back to the crypt and solve the bloody puzzle. But first, there is one thing that Louis IV, of all people, has found. It is during this quest that you're allowed to go into the Cardinal's room for the first time. It looks fairly normal. With how long they were keeping it away from us, I was half expecting it to be a serial killer's den. And again, there are some paintings to look at and deduce the inner state of the character from.
Torquemada. Quite the contrast. Wow. The fanatical priest who created the Inquisition sends shivers down the spine. His Holiness Pope Pius VI by Pompeo Petoni. This should help Piaggio feel at home. I have no time to lose, so I might as well not bother him.
My dear Giuseppe, poor health forbids me from joining you. Please thank Sir Gregory for his invitation to Lord Mortimer's. I'm convinced you'll be able to strengthen our agreements. Please tell Sir Gregory that his enterprise concerning our friend Cardinal Bishop Chiaramonti is following its course. I place my trust in you. May God bless you and give you protection. SS Giovanni Angelico Praschi.
There doesn't seem to be anything unusual in this letter. Strange. Oh good, more paintings. Hold on. This is not a pope.
The Lying Girl by Boucher. Here's a painting of mischievous eroticism. I wonder what Piaggio must think of this.
Man, this room has everything. Porn, collectibles. I should bring the other Louis here.
Venus and Cupid with a satyr by Correggio. Innocence, indiscretion, and lechery. Giuseppe must love that.
I can't say it is unexpected, but still, a pretty interesting choice of art for the bedroom of a cardinal. Two-faced.
John the Baptist, Youth with a Ram by Caravaggio. A very sensual vision and very far from the usual representations of St. John.
And he's also got this mirror installed which reflects anything but the room it's in. It could be an amusing plot point if all these mirrors were demon portals, but as far as I know, it's not the case.
I have no time to lose, so I might as well not bother him.
Alright, we're done with this room. Just one more diversion before the end. Louis IV doesn't seem to have any reaction to visiting Elizabeth's room. Anyway, back to Louis I, bringing his loot back to Mum.
So, good. You've managed to gather all the keys.
Yes, that's right. I have everything. What should I start with?
Place the Clement III cross on the console. Then you have to put the nails on the disc of the door.
What hole should I put the nails in?
Well, I can't really advise you there, because I haven't exactly made the best choices myself. All I can say is that you have to insert 1 to choose a town, 1 to choose a chapter, and 1 to choose a verse.
What theme did you start with?
As the fresco shows the birth of Christ, I placed 1 nail in Bethlehem, 1 in chapter 2, and 1 in verse 6. The iris opened a little. I thought it was normal. Behind the aperture of the iris, there is a duct in which I put my hand. I felt something like a valve at the bottom. I thought by turning it the door would open, or the iris would open completely, or something else would happen. Instead, I felt something like an axe cut off my hand. I really thought it was the end of me.
What did you do then?
Well, although I had made some unfortunate choices, I was lucky in that Mortimer was well stocked with drugs. I raided his supplies of medicine.
All right, my turn now.
Go ahead, impress me. I'll shut up and let you concentrate.
Clearly, the birth of Christ is not the theme of the puzzle. Okay, Louis, you've got very high observation skill. Go and observe the situation.
The fresco clearly shows the birth of Christ.
Louis, I can assure you that that is not the solution to this enigma. This fresco's only purpose is to mislead. I know that now. Please, focus on another theme about Christ.
We'll have to trust her. You could see that the paint has come off in parts. Difficult to see what was there, but I can distinguish the letters N-R-I. Nothing more.
It's funny how Louis can identify fairly obscure paintings with no effort, but needs skills to get a reference to the crucifixion.
Yes, it's definitely a representation of the birth of Christ, but some of the details have flaked away. I can't see any other clues. One thing is for sure, this enigma deals with the life of Jesus, like my mother said.
Let's not waste any more time here. We've got the theme. Let's check out the Bibles. They're supposed to say something about it.
This exegesis contains comments from Judas on the different Gospels. It only contains certain chapters and verses, and the chapters are indicated by Roman numerals. The lexicon refers to different chapters and verses from the exegesis of Judas. Chapter 19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head. Chapter 19, verse 17. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him, and 2 others with him, on either side, and Jesus in the midst.
We've got the chapter and the verse. I'm not sure about the place. Let's see how accurate this thing has to be geographically.
It looks like there are 3 types of inscriptions. There are 3 styles of writing, and I've got 3 nails. There must be a link. I must surely put in 1 nail per category.
Oh, this is nice. I can freely insert the nails as I please instead of picking from a multi-level menu. I've picked Jerusalem. That's not correct, but might as well see if the iris is going to open if you are almost right. No reaction. Okay.
The cross is stuck in the mechanism. I can't do anything. The cycle of the moons has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now.
Why the long pause? If there's one really annoying thing about this puzzle, it's that the bottom half of the disc is barely lit. But we shall overcome it. Mecha Goatsy, activate.
It works.
Well done, Louis. I hadn't seen those other wheels. Try connecting the theme to see if it goes all the way.
This is a puzzle about rings.
There must surely be a connection between the wheels. There are different icons on this wheel, but it looks like some of them can't be connected to the other wheels. Now, given the difference between the number of icons and the number of towns, I think that only one path connects all the wheels with one another. Let's try to connect the theme I've chosen with the rest. This wheel contains several symbols made up of 1 or 2 figures and 1 letter. The highest figure does not exceed 31, and each letter corresponds to a month of the year. A for April, and M for March. I think these symbols must represent a specific date. This wheel represents the different moons. In the occult sciences, we represent the full moon by an X. As for the dark moon, called the new moon, in cults, it's often associated with something harmful.
No, Louis, that is not helpful information. And so, with the crucifixion as the subject, I need to find the symbol, the date, and the phase of the moon.
Let's see what combination corresponds to the chosen theme.
I suppose I could brute force past the puzzle with skills.
By following the clues in the Bibles and the architect's notes, the crucifixion took place on the 8th of Nisan 3793, according to the astronomers of that time. That would correspond to March 26th in the year 33 on a modern calendar.
Okay, let's dial in the date. The one problem is, I'm not sure what I should align the date with. Should it be aligned with the top? Or should it be aligned with Golgotha, which is in the bottom left, in the dark? And on the Ring of Icons there's one for the Crown of Thorns, which seems to be connected with the crucifixion, unless you decide that the nail is closer. But that would be the wrong answer. I suspect I should align things with Golgotha in the bottom left. If there's one thing this puzzle gets absolutely right, it's the atmosphere. It doesn't tell you when you're doing things right or wrong, you're just aligning these dials and hoping you get the right configuration. And you do want to get it right, because you know what the consequence for failure is. They've been foreshadowing it for the entire game.
During new moon, the moon is entirely in the shadow. Then, the shadow moves from west to east, meaning left to right, and goes through the following states: waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, last quarter, waning crescent, and the cycle starts over with the full shadowed new moon.
The moon shadow moves from west to east.
What? Oh, it's not the European calendar. How do I convert from one to another? Oh, alright. I do have a hint about that very subject. The bottom half of the notes, a correspondence of dates. What do I need? The second line, I think.
7th of Shaban, 607, first quarter.
Alright. Frankly, I wasn't paying too much attention to what phase of the moon is meant by the first quarter, but let's hope I can get it right.
Clearly, we have names of towns, Arabian numerals, and Roman numerals.
These towns have one thing in common. They're all related to the life and death of Jesus. For example, Jordan is the place of the baptism of Christ.
Those were some brilliant hints from Louis II. We're back to Louis I, and we're dialing in the moons. I think that's the first quarter, right? I mean, Louis mentioned the direction the shadow was moving in, and, well, that looks like a quarter, so it's gotta be the first quarter. Regrettably, there's only one way to check, and I don't really want to. I'll just stand around here and bitch about Golgotha being in the shade. Very ironic in a way. No, I really don't want to stick my hand into a random bloody hole. Can't we use, like, a rope to pull that lever? Or a walking stick? Some kind of hook? And there's something weird going on with the camera here. I suppose I can't put it off any longer, can I? Mom, you still have that other hand. Could you, like,
I can feel the lever at the bottom.
Good luck.
Are you absolutely, totally positive that you've made all the right choices leading up to this moment in your life? Wait, can I look inside?
That was a close one.
Louis, you frightened me.
Looks like I've got another chance to find the right solution, just barely though.
Yes, that was the wrong answer. Fuck. And that was a level 10 agility challenge. Unless you know it's coming, you're not passing it. There's no time to drink the potion. Anyway, so I've looked up what the first quarter of the moon actually means. And I think now I'm ready to try again.
I can feel the lever at the bottom.
Good luck. I never doubted you, my son.
Bullshit. Godoy? I haven't seen him at all. Let's put some points into brain science and finish the episode. Louis I is done. Now Louis II.
I never...
Yeah, we get it, Mum. Still, where the fuck is Godoy? For Louis IV, the episode is going to end slightly differently.
Work. Well done, Louis. I hadn't seen those other weeks.
I can feel the lever at the bottom.
Good luck.
Well, that was different. What the fuck? I've searched every single room. Godoy is not in any of them. Not even in his own. If he's squatting somewhere in a hedge maze, I don't give a shit. I'm leveling linguistics as this, Louis, because many puzzles seem to have some kind of manual in an obscure language right next to them. This has been episode 3. Before we end, a couple more comments from Louis II in the secret room.
The Ring of the Nibelungs. Even if Mortimer is several centuries old, I don't see what part he has in this legend. So that's Pandora's box? An urn? Mother seemed worried that I was able to open it. I wonder why. Never mind. Now it's too late.